Now you see me. Now you don't. Where did I go? Where am I? Ow! Ow! Invisibility sucks. What's up, everybody? I am Luke from the Master Sword Valley with the finale of the Marvel Superheroes mod. Today, we are focusing on the final tab of this mod. You could probably guess what it is based on the title and and what the tab is. It is a full page of Iron Man's armor. That's right. This mod creator added over 20 Iron Man sets of armor. That's nuts. That's freaking nuts. It's a lot to go through, so we're going to go and break them down one by one. So let's get started. We have a lot to show. You can see why I broke this into a three-parter. All right, guys, so just to remind you, we're going to start off with the new elements. Now, I showed this last time, but this is important in this mod as well, so I'm just going to show you how to make it again. To make that, it is a titanium, a gold, and a palladium, and a teardrop, and you'll get the new element. And you can take that new element and surround it by glass and iron to get an upgraded arc reactor. Now, this is very, very important for more of this part. Like, more for this entire tab of Iron Man armor. This right here is a palladium arc reactor, which to make that is basically the same as the upgraded one, but replace the new element with a palladium, and you'll get the palladium arc reactor. Now, this is something not necessary for the crafting recipes. It's just something cool. This is the Veronica remote. To make that, you're going to need 4 gold titanium alloy with a redstone repeater and a redstone torch, and you'll get the Veronica remote. And I'll show this off as we go through the suits. All right, just so I don't waste any of your guys' time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show off the different suits of armor one by one while I flash crafting recipes up in the corner, because we have a lot to go through, and it's going to take even longer if I go through the crafting recipes one by one talking to you guys. So first up we have right here is the Mark 1 set of armor right here. Now, this armor really, it obstructs your view a little bit, but not as much as other mods. So it'll make things darker, but again, not too bad. And it comes with a flamethrower, as you can see right there. So you can set anything ablaze, anything you want ablaze. So just like the first movie, the Mark 1 continues to be the same. Unfortunately, with this one, you can't fly. I mean, I'm in creative, so I could fly, but in regular survival mode, you actually cannot fly with this suit of armor. It's a little lame. But yeah, that's the Mark 1 suit. All right, the next one we have right here is Mark 2, the classic slimmed down silver one from Iron Man 1. Now, all this really does is just let you fly. As you can see, I have the particles coming out from under. So I'm going to go and set my own game mode to survival. And yeah, all it really does is just let you fly around. There's no other special bonus with it. No strength. That's from the serum. No, like, anything else. Just the ability to fly. And with every suit of armor except for Mark 1, you can press H to open up the helmet. Just a nice little detail that you can see your character face. So yeah, that's Mark 2. Now we have probably one of the coolest looking sets of Iron Man armor in this mod, which is Iron Man Mark 3. Now, this has the ability to fly like the rest of them do, but this gives you that repulsor and unibeam that War Machine has, which basically acts like a bow, or a bow with an explosion. So much death and destruction is about to rain upon this desert. But yes, that's the Mark 3 set of armor. It's this upgraded one now, and still looks really freaking awesome. And now we have Iron Man Mark 5, or at least what I like to call it, the emergency suit, because to be fair, in the movies, this is kind of like a backup suit, of which he needed it for in emergencies, you know, Iron Man 2 and such. But yeah, this once again gives you the ability to fly, has the classic 2 weapons, but this has an ability that I personally love, is that when you press V, you will contort it all into the Mark 5 suitcase, just like in the movie. So it's freaking awesome in that sense. And then when you right click it, you'll get the armor back on. Just like that. Oh, actually, let's go into first person view. So there it is off. And putting it on. Not quite like Nanotech, but still same. And it's so freaking cool. So yeah, Mark 5. All right, now we have the Iron Man Mark 6 armor. And starting with this one, some suits will give you water breathing, others won't. Why? I don't know. But yeah, this is Iron Man Mark 6. Still looks really freaking awesome. And this is the suit that's gonna need you to start requiring the upgraded arc reactor. The rest of these will require that, the upgraded arc reactor, basically. And so like I said, once again, you can fly. You can press H to open up your helmet right there, as you can see. And you still have the classic weapons and such. This one just gives you water breathing as a bonus. So yeah, and no special ability if you press V. So it's still really cool. Yeah, Mark 7 is basically the same as Mark 6. It just doesn't give you the water breathing. But here it is in F5. It's still, all these suits just look so freaking awesome. I mean, who doesn't love Iron Man? As you might have noticed with all these suits, starting with Mark 2, you're going to need the previous mark in order to be able to craft these. So just a heads up there. Now this is Mark XVI, which I know stands for 16. So they started taking a different approach with the colors. As you can see, this one is all black and blue. Now this one has a really cool ability, which is if you press V, you will go invisible. So you can be invisible to your friends and family and whatnot. Not to other mobs, as you saw by that intro. So yeah, you can go invisible with it, which is really freaking cool. On top of that, you have the same, you know, sort of this nonsense and such. You can press H to open the thing. But starting with this one, there's a really cool ability with it, which is if you press X, you will go into sentry mode, which will attack any hostile mobs or anything that you attack around you, basically. So if you were to like punch a cow or a pig or something, it would go and attack that. And then you can just right click it to get the suit back on. Now, this is where the Veronica remote comes in. Starting with Mark 16, any of the suits that you can send into sentry mode, you can right click them and basically send them off so that their planet needs them. Now, if I right click this, I can summon the suit whenever I want. So I can basically have a full set of suits in this remote, and when I need them, I need them. So really useful in that sense. Now we have Mark 17. Hello, as you can see right here. So still looks cool. I love all the little details on it right here. How it's much more detailed than the rest of these have been so far. This one once again has sentry mode like that. I'm gonna go ahead and grab the remote, and yeah, it's basically the same minus the invisibility thing. Hey buddy, your planet needs you. You achieve greatness! And yeah, the Mark 19 is basically the same, just downgraded some color, as you can see right there. Still has sentry mode, but yeah, it's basically the same as Mark 17. Now, this is Mark 20. As you see, it has a black and gold aesthetic, which also does also look really cool. I can't praise enough about the designs of the suits in this mod. They're so freaking cool. Same abilities, open helmet, repulsor, unibeam and such, no passive ability, and sentry mode. Goodbye, my child. All of these are my children. Now we have Mark 21, which is an all gold suit and such. No extra abilities, can still same weapons, same helmet and such. Pretty much all the Iron Man suits have that except Mark 1. And yeah, like I said, all gold. Now we have Mark 22. Now 22 and 2 might sound familiar because they are the Iron Man suits that you need in order to be able to craft War Machine like I showed off last time. I waited until part 3 to show you guys how to craft War Machine's armor because you basically had to make so many previous marks of armor just to make War Machine's armor. It was much easier if I went ahead and just showed off Iron Man's crafting recipes instead of like showing you the concept of breaking down like all the other suits in part 2. So that's why I'm showing them off here. So now you know how to make War Machine's armor. So yeah, this is Mark 22 right here. Once again, no passive ability, same weapons, hello, and such. So yeah, a lot of these are just different design choices and with the same passive abilities, but the later marks do have different abilities. Okay, so now we're Burglar Iron Man, as you can see. So yeah, this is Mark 23. Yes, Mark 23. I had to make sure of that. And yeah, it almost looks like a stealth burglary kind of suit with that mask on. But on top of that, you also get fire resistance, even though it's glitching out right here. You do get fire resistance with this suit. No passive abilities, same hold, weapons and such, and go to space. Nice. I think that whole go to space thing is reference to Iron Man 3. Now think about it. Okay, now we have probably the blandest looking suit in this mod. I mean, at least Mark 2 look cooler than this. But yes, this is Mark 25. Had to make sure of that. It's hard to read Roman numerals, but yeah, you have a blue aesthetic with a brown body, basically. And you also, out of all of them, get this drill, which basically functions like an iron pickaxe, basically. So you can still mine like teardrops and stuff with it, but not things like obsidian or netherite. Sorry, ancient debris. So yeah. So as you can see, it's going about as effective as an iron. It is effective as an iron pickaxe, basically. Pretty useful in that sense. And you can also, it's an excuse to dig straight down, even though it's normally a bad idea in normal Minecrafts. Because even if you get stuck, you can literally just fly out. So pretty cool in that sense. It also gives you night vision. Next up here is Mark 30. And this is also another one of my favorite looking suits. I really like the blue and black aesthetic, as well as the silver that it has and such. So 10 abilities and such, but you also get this blade, which does 10 attack damage. So it's still as strong as the iron sword, but it's just a weapon that comes with the suit by default once you craft it. So still really cool in that sense. And the armor itself just looks so freaking incredible. Like, that's awesome. Next up is Iron Man Mark 33, which is basically the same as Mark 30, just with a red and silver aesthetic instead of black and blue. Still cool, looks like Mark 5, but I still much like the black and blue aesthetic. Still an awesome thing. So still has the same blade, which does a 10 attack damage, right? Yeah, 10 attack damage. No passive ability, can still say hello under the mask. And yeah, just all around looks so freaking incredible. I love this suit. All these suits, again, are just so amazing. Now we have Mark 37 Iron Man suit. Now, this one doesn't look quite as cool, but it's very, very functional. You still have the same abilities and such. But on top of that, you get conduit power and dolphin's grace. So this is a armor that you really want if you're going to do things underwater, as you can see right here. So really helpful in that sense. Unfortunately, it just doesn't give you water breathing, which you'd think out of all the suits that are supposed to be. Oh, never mind. It does give you water breathing. Okay, never mind. Ignore me. But yeah, so really helpful when in the water. So yeah, that's 37. Honestly, it's kind of the lamest looking suit in this mod. Like, I don't know. I just don't really like it, but it's useful. All right. So now we have Iron Man Mark 39. Now I can classify this pretty much as like the God Mark armor, because it's, like white and gold. It reminds me of God with that sense. I kind of match the desert, but this basically is just, it gives you water breathing, but it doesn't give you dolphin's grace or conduit power. So it's kind of like 37, but not in that sense. It's like the others that give you water breathing. Still has the same weapon, still has the hello sort of thing to it. So yeah, that's 39, the God armor. Next up is Iron Man Mark 42. Again, it's just the same. We're going back to the red and silver aesthetic this time. Can still fly, still has the same weapons, still has peekaboo added to it. So yeah, just your normal everyday armor, just a different color scheme. Yeah, but 43 is the same thing, and same thing with 46, but it kind of has a pinkish aesthetic to it, but it's still basically the same thing as the other two marks. Same thing with 47, just also given a gray aesthetic to it. Yep. All right, so as you can see, I sent the War Machine and Patriot War Machine to space, and that means that this remote is completely filled up with all of these suits. Now, I'll show something with this later, but this basically means that you can store from Mark 16 to 47 and the Iron Patriot and the War Machine in this remote. There's 3 more Iron Man armors, but those are not docked to this remote, and you'll see why. All right, so this is Mark 49. Once again, really freaking cool looking, as you can see. And not only does this one give you water breathing, but you also have this Nanotech tool, which this is functioning basically like an entire set of iron tools. So it's a shovel, an axe, a pickaxe, and that's it. It says it's a hoe on the forums. Not that kind of hoe, but it doesn't work like a hoe. Like I tried tilling grass as much as I could, but it doesn't work like a hoe, unfortunately. So yeah, but it's still pretty effective as a tool on its own. Like, let's go and switch game modes. Like, see, it's carving through this sand like no one's business. And same thing with the stone. Like it's pretty effective, to say the least. Pretty cool. And this one doesn't have sentry mode on it, nor does it have any other passive abilities besides open the helmet. Oh, the helmet actually comes off. Oh, I didn't even know that. And you actually lose an armor point for it. Oh, okay. Cool. Now we're getting into the good suits. This is Iron Man Mark 50. This and 85 have got to be my favorite suits in the MCU movies itself. These are so freaking cool. I mean, first of all, the armor aesthetic is fucking awesome. Sorry for my language, but it's so unbelievably cool. You have the nanotech tool. You have this regular beams. You have water breathing. But on top of that, when you press X, when you press V, you will basically use the nanotech. And as you can see, it puts a little arc reactor on your chest. So that when you press V again, you get the nanotech back. The nanotech has always been my favorite mark of suits in the MCU. Ever since Infinity War, the nanotech has always been my favorite. Even the Iron Spider nanotech is so cool. I love it so much. And finally, as the end to all ends for this mod, this is Iron Man Mark 85. So this has a golden aesthetic to this, as you can see, more so than this one. It's maybe more like a skin color appeal to it, or design to it. But you basically, once again, have a nanotech tool, which functions like an iron tool. You get water breathing. You can still take out the helmet, as you can see. Take out the full helmet right there. Unibeam, repulsor beam, and it's a nanotech suit. So it can come off and on at your will. Like that. So freaking awesome. Like I said, the nanotech scenes are my favorite part of the Infinity War and Endgame. So freaking cool. But yeah, that is all the Iron Man armors in this mod, and that is pretty much everything this mod has to offer, except one last thing. So might as well go ahead and just put the nanotech armor back on, and I'm going to get out the remote again, and I am going to summon a house party. Listen to that. Wait for it. Come on, guys. There they are. Doing the house call protocol will summon every mark of armor that you have docked to this remote to your side to defend your honor. So you can basically summon an entire army at your will. It's freaking incredible, as you can see right there. Now to make them all go back to space again, you have to right click every single one of them again to send them back up to space. It's kind of a pain, and there's not like a whole all go to space button, but still, it works out. It works out just the same. So yeah. But yeah, that does it for the Veronica remote. That does it, and that does it for all the Iron Man sets of armor. Well, guys, that does it for the Marvel Superheroes mod. Like I said, it's a really big mod that I had to split up into 3 parts. I don't know for sure if it all can join into one part. Because right now my recorder is almost at 2 hours, but I don't know if all the stuff getting like cut out and such will cut it down to 2 hours. But we'll see. So I hope you guys enjoyed this possible 3-part extravaganza. If you did, make sure you stab that like button and comment down below any questions you have or any mod suggestions that you have. I will always take your guys' suggestions. And make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell, and check out all my stuff in the description below, as well as the mod itself. If you're a Marvel fan, you will definitely love this mod with so many cool armors and everything about it Marvel related. Now, all I wonder now is if there's a DC variant, but I'll get to that if you guys want there to be a DC variant, basically. But that's all I really wanted to say. My name is Luke, and say it with me. Stay strong and feel the power. See ya! I can't believe we made it through this entire mod showcase without this.
What? You rang? You rang, bud?
Oh, you really want to show up now?
Yeah, wait, whoa, no, please, please,
now,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, please, no. Ah!
You are the biggest scum of the earth.